Hi, how you doing? We're back and we're ready for it all over again.
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
No, don't lie.
Is it rolling?
Is it rolling?
Is you rolling? Is you rolling? Don't lie, is you rolling?
Right, morning fellas, welcome back to another Villa on Tour video today. Look at this, we've got an Albion fan, his name's Max, so it's fairly easy to remember. Do you want people to follow you on? There'll be Albion fans watching this, so go and follow him on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, Max _Ashforth, hit me up.
There you go. We're just going to do a little preview because obviously big game on Saturday and then the following Tuesday it's at the Hawthorns, the playoff semi-finals. When was the last time Albion were in the playoffs?
2007. We lost at Wembley to Derby, so wasn't the best memories.
That could happen again. We'll get on to that, Derby and Leeds, we'll talk about that. But big game on Saturday at Villa Park. Are you going?
I'm planning to, yeah.
If you can get a ticket.
If I get a ticket, Wednesday's my slot, so all goes to plan, I'm going to be there.
We were in the playoffs last year. We had Borough in the semi-finals. We did them 1-0 at their place. It was so much easier. I think it's going to be harder this year. Obviously, it's a derby. But yeah, we were fine last year. West Brom, I am nervous. So from an Albion fan's perspective, what are your thoughts on Villa's season as a whole?
As a whole, it's been very mixed. Obviously, you've come out of nowhere recently. You had 10 wins, something like that. It was pretty impressive, I'll give you that. I think everyone had written you off from the playoffs until about a couple of months ago where you just had a late surge and you've stormed it recently. Obviously, it's not going to be an easy one. We've beaten you once this season. You probably should have beat us the other one, but it's mixed. It's difficult to call. Yeah, well, I've got here. Obviously, the first encounter this season was the 2-2 at the Hawthorns, and that was probably the most. It was so controversial. The handball, as you said, we should have won that game. Abraham missed a chance in the second half where his legs just got tangled, but we should have won that game. I think you can admit that. But the second one, the 2-0 at Villa Park. I don't think even we were that good that day.
No.
But it shows how poor you were, and it sums up the form you were in at the time and shows how far you've come since. I
mean, there was no Grealish in that team. The squad was so different then. We hadn't won in a long time. And before yesterday, when we lost to Norwich, that was our last loss in the league. So it just puts into perspective how good we've been recently. The league table after that 2-0 defeat at Villa Park was not ideal. I've got written here, we were 13 points behind you.
Yeah, that gap has closed significantly since.
It's now 4.
Yeah, it was getting very close a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, there was talk a couple of weeks ago we could actually have overtaken you.
Yeah, you were close.
Because you were 1-0 down to Rotherham, and I was thinking to myself then, we could overtake you if we beat Leeds.
We've had a lot of near misses recently. We've scraped a lot of results where we haven't played very well, but we've still got the results, and I think that's promising going into the playoffs at least.
So I'm going to talk about West Brom quickly. In terms of their season, from my perspective, it's hard to gauge. Like, I can't really work out. I think around Christmas time, I was thinking you could probably get top 2 here because I didn't fancy Norwich. They've gone flying, but I thought you could get top 2, but it just didn't happen. Yeah,
consistency's been very key this season, and we've struggled. We've had a few very good runs, and we've had a few very poor runs. It's difficult to say. A lot of it's come down to the system we've been playing. We've had a lot of success with the 3 and 5 at the back, and a lot of misery as well. We've drawn home to Ipswich, the likes of Hull away loss, Wigan away loss, but we've also beaten Leeds 4-1.
Yeah.
We've got good results at Norwich and Sheffield United. It's been very inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm worried, because you don't really know what West Brom team's gonna turn up. But I'm gonna come on to it. Darren Moore, what are your personal thoughts? Were you happy? Did you expect it?
I said all along, from the minute he was sacked, I said it was the right decision at the wrong time.
Ooh.
I personally would have changed manager at the end of the season because the home form in itself was not good enough. We couldn't seem to buy a win at home against anyone. From, I think, Boxing Day to February time, we didn't win at all, and we weren't playing good teams in that period. Yeah, I would have changed it at the end of the season. I wouldn't have done it in such a knee-jerk reaction as we did.
Did the whole fan base as a whole, West Brom, the whole fan base, did they agree with that? Was it obvious that they wanted him out?
It wasn't the best received news. I think a lot of people were disappointed because of how good a job he has done, and you only have to look at teams like Sunderland who've gone straight down 2 divisions to see how good a job he had done. But it's difficult to ignore the home form that we had. Well, something had to change.
Yeah, Jimmy Sham came in. Was he a coach?
He was one of the first team coaches.
Okay.
And he's obviously just risen up through the ranks since.
So has he done a good job?
I think he's done a good job. He's done all he can really.
Yeah,
he wasn't a manager, to be fair, and he's done well. He's brought in some ex players and coaches to help him, Stephen Reed and Appleton, to come back and help him along through the playoffs. So I think he's done an okay job. He's steadied the ship.
The thing I look at with West Brom is their poor defence. That's what stands out to me. I think you've conceded one more goal than us this season, and we, like Villa fans, we know we've had a bad defence, especially in the first half of this season. But your defence, what's going on there? Because you've got Higazi, Gibbs, and to me that looks like a decent back four on paper. Johnston in goal, my mate. But yeah, I'm not salty about that at all. But.
I mean, in my eyes, it's on paper it's a Premier League defence, and the performances have been absolutely nowhere near Premier League quality. It's been very, very shaky all season. We've always looked like conceding goals, and until about December time we couldn't buy a clean sheet. Only more recently have we got a couple of them under our belt. And even now, we still look shaky at the back, like we're going to concede to whoever team we're playing. That
gives me hope, because we've scored a lot this season. We were talking off camera, and you said that you thought Higazi was better than Twanzebe and Mings.
Personally, I do, although I haven't obviously been watching Mings every week like you have.
Yeah.
I've seen Higazi a lot of times over the past couple of years, and I do rate him very highly. Yeah, I'll leave that down to.
Well, Tyrone, we all know you're watching, mate. He watches the vids, you know he does. But yeah, I no. Higazi looked dodgy to me when we went there in December.
He does have a few shaky games, but he also has very, very solid games as well.
You wait till you see Mings, mate. He's going to control the back four. No worries.
I saw him in February and you lost.
Well, now I've said all that, he's probably going to slip, make a mistake, and run through on goal. Gale slots it in, 1-0 West Brom. Anyway, from your point of view, who do you look at in the Villa team and think, we need to look out for him, he's a danger man?
Obviously, everything goes through Grealish. I think it doesn't take a genius to work that out.
Yeah.
If you stop him, in my opinion, you stop Villa. But obviously, you've still got the likes of Abraham up top who can score goals.
Yeah.
You've got a solid defence to rely on, and I think you've got a good team overall, but in my opinion, we have to focus on marking Grealish out the game.
Well, yeah, I would have said that as well, because obviously he didn't play in the 2-0 at Villa Park, but we've seen in this 10-game run that there was one game against Bristol City where we didn't have him, and we still look good, and I think it's taken a while for that to happen, but fair play to Smith, he's worked out a system to play without Grealish, and we rested him against Norwich, so he'll be fit and ready to go against West Brom, so yeah, he's the danger man.
As much as I do worry about that, I think we'll be okay. We've got Gale and Rodriguez both on 20 plus goals, which is always going to cause a threat to anyone we're playing, so I think we'll be okay.
I want to come on to Sam Johnston. Now, I know for a fact he wanted to stay at Villa, just because I thought from what I've seen on the highlights, he's looked quite good this season. Has he?
I'm a big fan. It really annoys me because there's a very large percentage of our fan base who give him constant stick.
Really?
I think he's made the most saves in the Championship out of every goalkeeper. I'm a big fan of his. Obviously, we were used to Ben Foster, so it's a big gap to fill. And to be honest, he's not as good as Foster, but I think he will be in the coming years, and he's done a very good job, to be fair.
Yeah, I knew he wanted to stay at Villa. Obviously, that was never going to happen with the financial mess that we were in the summer. But how much was he? Was it like 6 million or something?
Fair, 5 or 6 million.
Because if
nothing really.
If you don't go up, I could see him going. Hopefully, imagine if we signed him back. We go up, sign him back. Cheers, Sam. Welcome back, sir. Going to talk about your last game, 3-1 defeat to Derby at Pride Park on Sunday. You played a full team in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all know Derby are fighting for their lives. They were going for the playoffs, but did it just not click? What happened? I
think ever since we've confirmed our playoff place, our performances have dropped massively, and I think our players are just on the beach. I just hope that they can turn it around for the game on Saturday and get back in the zone for winning games, because we played teams like Rotherham and scraped a 2-1, didn't deserve to win. Yesterday, didn't deserve anything from it. They were better than us and they wanted it more.
Does the inexperience of Jimmy Shan worry you going into the playoffs, or?
Obviously, I would prefer a manager who's been there and done it before. But
we were there last season.
Yeah. Although he's not an experienced manager, but Dean Smith hasn't really done it in the playoffs either, so it swings and roundabouts.
Fair enough. In terms of Villa, our last result was the 2-1 defeat to Norwich, but there was about 3 or 4 players in that team that were first team players. Look at Neil Taylor, Horahan, potentially Twanzebe. But we looked good. We did look good. It took till the 86th minute with a slight lapse in concentration at the back for Norwich to get the winner. And they played a full team, to be fair to them. So we were good. And I just think once we've got all our players back, look, there was no Mings yesterday, no Abraham, no Grealish. It gives me hope. It gives me hope. You're scared?
I'm not going to lie. I am scared going into Saturday. I think you're going to be well up for it because we've got the second leg at home. You know you've got to do everything you can at Villa Park. I think if I was Jimmy Shannon, I'd go for a bit more defensive approach, try and limit your chances a bit, try and get a draw maybe.
Yeah, would you take a draw?
I'd definitely take a draw away and take it back to the Hawthorns and see what we can do there.
Because I think we need to go for it on Saturday, because I know away goals don't count. So if we keep a clean sheet on Saturday, maybe get 1 or 2. Because if we get a win, we can go to West Brom and just defend. And I think with the defence we've got, we're capable of defending. You know, because you're going to come all out if you need to on whenever it is at the Hawthorns. But
Tuesday,
yeah, cheers. So I'm going to come on to the teams. I'm going to go through Villa's team, who I would play. Jed Steer in goal, fairly self-explanatory. He's been so good recently. Mings, Twanzebe at the back, El Mohammadi on the right, Neil Taylor. There's talk about House coming in, but I just think Neil Taylor's been so consistent. In the midfield, this is a tough one. Horahan or Whelan. For me at home, it's got to be Whelan. He's been so good. If we are drawing or losing in this game, you bring on Horahan. He's got the set-piece delivery. Going forward, it's got to be Tammy Abraham up front, El Ghazi on the left, because he's quality. I love him so much, and he scored that absolute scream at the Hawthorns, so he's got good memories there. And on the right is a tough one. Is it Andre Green? Is it Adoma? Adoma yesterday against Norwich was poor for me. Jake on the videos calls him lettuce legs. So I'm not a massive fan of him. Obviously you've got Codger who scored yesterday. He's in a decent bit of form. So again, you could bring him on maybe on the wing. He can cause a bit of danger. But West Brom's team, who would you play?
I think we played a very similar team over the last few weeks. I think it'll be obviously Johnson in goal. It'll be Higazi, Dawson, Bartley at the back. I think it'll be Gibson, Holgate as wing backs, and the midfield 3 is where it gets interesting because there's a bit of a choice for Sham because Phillips has been injured recently. He's been coming off the bench to not risk him for the playoffs. You're going to be playing Johansson and Livermore when he's fit, and then the third one's where you've either got Phillips, Harper, or Brunt. So obviously Brunt's got the set piece delivery. Harper's a bit more energetic, and Phillips offers the pace and power. I'd personally like to see Phillips in there because I think we're not the same team without him. And obviously then you got Galen Rodriguez up front.
I saw a bit of abuse for Harper online yesterday. Where's he play? What's his position?
He's a central midfielder, and I'll be honest, I don't really see what he offers to the team. He runs about, but
yeah, right.
He doesn't really offer too much going forward, and he's not really a defensive midfielder either. He's a decent player, but I don't think he's good enough to be starting in the playoffs for us.
Is there anyone off the bench that could cause a bit of danger? Because yesterday, Hal Robson-Kanu got sent off against Derby, which was, I saw it. It was stupid. He stamped out there. There was no need for that. So he's going to miss the whole playoffs. Is there anyone off the bench that could come on and change the game if you do need to? Or
I'll be honest, no. Our usual plan B is to bring on Robson-Kanu, who can
lump the ball up to him.
He can play as a hold-up striker, which worked effectively against you in February. You've got the likes of Murphy, who I don't rate. You've got...
Really?
I don't like him.
I thought you were gassing up when you signed him.
I was, and then I saw him play.
Not a fan.
I'm not a fan. He doesn't try hard at all. He barely runs, and he doesn't work hard to get back either.
Wow, okay, so we're going to come on to it now. Score, prediction. I think it's tough to call the second leg until you know what's going to happen in the first leg. So we'll just stick to the first leg. Villa Park, 12:30 kickoff, which I'm not a fan of really. It would have been a bit more lively if it was 5:30. But, it's so tough. I'm going to say 2-1. 2-1 Villa. I think if we're going to go all out from the start. If we get an early goal, I think it would calm the nerves. But I can see you scoring. Yeah, 2-1 Villa. 2-1 Villa.
I'm going to have to say 1-1. I don't think we're going to go all out on Saturday. I think we're going to go a bit more conservative, try and get something out of the game, try not to lose and take it back home for the second leg, because I think it's massive that we've managed to get the second leg. I think if it was at Villa Park, the atmosphere there would would be electric, and it'd be a lot more difficult for us to get something out of the game.
I put out on Twitter a few questions, and this first one comes from Max Roberts. It says, curry or Chinese?
Curry, all day.
Love that. What's your go-to order?
Oh, it changes every time.
Affairs?
It depends how much I've had to drink. It depends how hot I go.
No, chicken biryani. It's got nothing to do with West Brom Villa, but we don't mind. Anyway, Robin Mason says, the last time we played you to get to Wembley.
And he's created the space for Fabian Delph. And the captain delivers for Aston Villa. Villa are heading to Wembley.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Good times, really. I mean, it came down to nothing because we didn't win anything.
I mean, yeah, that we played you twice in a week. Then I'd like to think this one will be a bit more positive for us. We completely bottled that.
Benteke, last minute penalty. What a hero! Come on, Christian. Cheers. Here's one for you. Do you believe in karma?
Yeah.
Good.
We're gonna do you.
What? That's the intro sorted. That's quality. No, that's quality. That's quality. I'm gonna clip that so hard. This is gold dust. Right, that's the end of the video. I think we've pretty much talked about all of it. Let me know your score predictions, how you're feeling going into the game. There'll be West Brom fans watching this, so let me know your thoughts as well. Interested in what you lot think.
Boing boing.
Oh, sure. Anyway, follow him on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Subscribe if you are new, because West Brom on Saturday, West Brom next week. I'll be there. FBA's on Thursday, you know how it is. Anyway, thanks for watching. Up the Villa.